The franchise tag is a special tool that allows the team to keep a player for one more year, and even if that player is about to become a free agent. It usually comes with high salary. Many teams use it when they are not ready to lose an important player. The first day that teams could use the franchise tag has already passed. However, nothing dramatic happened for the Dallas Cowboys. The team did not place the franchise tag on wide receiver George Pickens. Many fans were watching closely because Pickens is one of the most important offensive players on the roster. When the Cowboys did not use the tag immediately, it gave hope for many supporters. It suggests that the team may be working toward for a long-term contract instead. A long-term contract would be better for both sides, and it would give George Pickens security for several years, and it would also help the Cowboys to avoid stressful offseason filled with rumors, arguments, and uncertainty. In the recent years, Dallas fans have experienced dramatic contract situation with strike players. Supporters would prefer to calm and professional negotiation this time. However, it is important to remember that there is still time. The franchise tag window remains open for several days. The Cowboys could still decide to use it if negotiations do not move forward. Nothing is final yet. For now, fans can only wait and watch. Another important story for the Dallas is the introduction of the new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. He will officially meet with the Dallas media on Tuesday. This meeting is important because it will give clues about how the Cowboys plan to build their defense for the upcoming season. A defensive coordinator plays a major role in shaping a team identity. He decides how aggressive the defense will be. He chooses the scheme, the formation, and the strategies. Because Christian Parker is new to the organization, many people are curious about his plans. Reporters will likely to ask him about free agents and upcoming NFL League draft in 2026. His answers may reveal what types of the players the Cowboys are targeting. Some analysts have already started connecting available defensive players to the Parker coaching style. Interestingly, one of the names being discussed players for division rival. That makes a situation even more interesting. If Dallas wants to compete for the championship, the defense must improve and remain consistent. Christian Parker leadership will be extremely important in achieving that goal. While much of the attention is focused on George Pickens, another important Cowboys player is quietly approaching free agents. His kicker Brandon Aubrey is set to become a restricted free agent. A restricted free agent is different from the normal free agent. His current team can place a tender offer on him. This offer allows the team to match any contract another team offers. However, there is some risk involved. Cowboys are expected to place a second-round tender on Brandon Aubrey. This means that if another team signs him, they would need to give Dallas second-round draft picks as compensation. But there is concern. Brandon Aubrey has developed into one of the most dynamic kickers in the league. Some teams may believe he is worth of the price. If another team makes strong contract offer, of course Dallas will have to decide whether to match it or let him leave. Losing a reliable kicker can change the outcome of the close games. Special teams are often overlooked, but they are very important. The news is not only about Dallas. Across the NFL, many important stories are developing. We cannot talk more about this one, but one major topic is the franchise tag tracker, where George Pickens is listed as one of the top candidates around the league. Many analysts believe he deserves a long-term contract, but franchise tag remains the option. Another report suggests that certain free agent is likely to flow Christian Parker to Dallas. Coaching often bring in players who understand their system. This makes transitional smoother. There is also discussion about different draft scenarios, and the Cowboys currently have 2 first-round draft picks. This gives them flexibility. They could also use both picks to select the young talents, or they could trade 1 pick to move higher on the draft. They could also trade down and gain additional selection. The possibilities are exciting for the fans. The future of George Pickens may directly influence how Dallas approach free agents at the wider receiver position. If Pickens signs a long-term deal, the team may not need to spend heavily on another receiver, but if he leaves, the Cowboys would need to act quickly. Another interesting financial note shows that Cowboys are spending more than 10 times as much money on the defensive tackle position compared to the edge rusher position. This imbalance has raised the question among the analysts. There are also rumors about possible trade between Cowboys and Kansas City Chiefs on recent mock draft projection. Mock draft are prediction, but they often create a strong reaction among the fans. Coaching changes are also shaping the National Football League landscape. Rich Bisaccia has stepped down as a special team coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. This is another story which is not about Dallas Cowboys. For the Dallas Cowboys, everything begins with stability. If they can secure George Pickens, as we said, with a long-term contract, they remove major distractions. This allows front office to focus on strengthening their position. And as we said, Christian Parker is going to make his defensive strength, and also Brandon Aubrey are restricted free agent. We are going to see what Dallas Cowboys is going to do about his case. And the first day of the franchise tag window passed quietly for the Dallas Cowboys, and George Pickens was not tagged, as we said. This gives hope that long-term agreement is possible. At the same time, nothing is granted. Parker will soon share his defensive plan on this Tuesday, as we said. So what you have to do is to be with us, because we'll update you for everything what is going on this case of the George Pickens contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys, or price tag or franchise tag of George Pickens if long time contested catch. He stretched the field vertically, he wins contested catches, and he plays with confidence and edge. He forces defenses to adjust coverage scheme. If Dallas allows George Pickens to leave, the offense immediately takes a step backwards. Replacing elite production is not easy. Drafting a rookie is risky. Signing a cheaper veteran is not the same. The smartest move is clear. Offer long-term contract extension and bleed around him, of course. If Jerry Jones truly wants to bust the buckets, it begins with keeping elite talent in the Dallas like George Pickens. Once that internal priority is handled, attention turns to the roster weakness. The Cowboys have talent, but they also have clear needs. At cornerback, depth and reliability are critical. NFL is dominated by passing attacks. If you cannot defend elite quarterbacks, you will not survive in January. One strong target is Alontae Taylor from the New Orleans Saints. He is physical, competitive, and versatility. Another exciting possibility is League Woolen from the Seahawks. Woolen has the elite size and speed, which allow him to match up against big, fast receivers. Adding one higher-level cornerback would immediately strengthen the secondary. Safety is another area that needs improvement. Defensive communication and consistency must improve. Lady Blankenship from the Philadelphia Eagles is known for discipline and awareness. He does not make many mental mistakes. Brian Cook from the Kansas City Chiefs brings physical play and big games experience. Strengthening the safety position would reduce explosive plays allowed by the defense. At running back, the Cowboys need more consistency and power. A strong ground game control, tempo, and protect reads, Javonte Williams could be the ideal addition. He runs aggressively, breaks tackles, and contributes in the passing game. A balanced offense keeps defenses guessing and opens up play-action opportunity. Linebacker remains one of the biggest concerns. Injuries exposed Dave's problem last season, and the defense needs leadership in the middle. Veteran like Demario Davis would bring experience and intensity. Young players such as David Lloyd from the Jacksonville Jaguars and Nakobe Dean from the Philadelphia would add speed and athletic ability. The linebacker position sets to the tone for run defense and coverage across the middle of the field. However, the most urgent needs edge rusher. This is the number one priority outside of the retaining George Pickens. You win championship by pressuring the quarterback. If you cannot collapse the pocket, elite quarterbacks will dominate your defense. Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals consistently produces sacks and pressure. He changes games. Another explosive position is Joellen Phillips, who is elite athletic ability and pass slashing upside. Clavon Chason, who could provide rotational depth with room to grow, and adding a dominant edge defender would elevate the entire defense. With Chevy Jones say he will bust the pockets, he must translate into action. That means aggressive contract. That means creative salary cap management. That means taking calculated risk. Championship window do not stay open forever. Teams must act boldly when opportunity exists. The Cowboys are not far away. They have foundational talent. They have passionate fans. They have a new coaching direction under Brian Schottenheimer and Christian Parker, but to truly compete with the elite teams, they must upgrade the key position and retain their stars. If Dallas extends George Pickens and adds a true pass rusher, strengthening linebacker depth, upgrading secondary, and improves the running game, this team can transform from playoff participant to the legitimate Super Bowl contender. The off-season defines the season. Jeff Jones made a promise, of course. Now the football world waits to see if the Dallas bold moves in free agents, smart decisions in draft, and aggressive trades is necessary. The owner of the team, Jerry Jones, is always in the spotlight. He is known for being very confident and sometimes very aggressive with his decisions. In recent season, he has spoken about improving the roster and being more active. The big question is simple. Will True make the moves needed to be competitive with the best team in NFL? Let us begin by looking at the offense. The Cowboys have talent, but talent are not enough. The quarterback position is always the most important position in football, and the team needs consistent leadership and strong decision making. A great quarterback must protect the football, lead defenses correctly, and deliver accurate passes under pressure. When playoff time comes, everything becomes more difficult. Defensive players become faster, more physical, and more focused. That is when true leaders arise. The wide receiver group must always be strong and reliable. If the Cowboys want to dominate, they need receivers who can create separation, catch difficult passes, and gain yards after the catch. There has been a lot of discussion around the wide receiver George Pickens and what his future could look like. A long-term contract extension could provide stability, keeping talented players in important because chemistry takes time to breathe. If a team constantly changes its main weapon, it becomes harder to build rhythm and trust. Now let's talk about on running game. In NFL, balance is extremely important. The team cannot depend only on passing. Defenses will adjust quickly. The Cowboys must have a running back who can handle pressure, break tackles, and control the clock late in the game. Strong running attack also helps the offensive line perform better. When the offensive line plays with confidence, the entire offense becomes more dangerous, of course. Speaking of the offensive line, this unit must improve if the Cowboys want serious success. Injuries have been a problem in the recent seasons in the Dallas. Depth is important. Young players must develop quickly. Veterans must stay healthy. The offensive line is the foundation of everything with the Dallas Cowboys. Without protection, the quarterback struggles. Without strong blocking, the running game fails. Let us move on the defensive side of the ball. Defensive win championships. That statement is repeated often because it is true. The Cowboys have shown flashes of the greatness on the defense, but consistency is a real challenge. They need defensive line that can pressure opposing quarterbacks without depending only on British players. When a defense can create a pressure with only 4 defensive linemen, it becomes much harder to stop.